The NFL is back in action, and so is winning season at MyBookie with over $500,000 in contest prize money. Winning season makes big games even better and the victories even sweeter. Head to mybookie.ag and choose from a variety of boosts, contests, and promotions up for grabs, highlighted by the crown jewel of winning season, the famed MyBookie Super Contest. It only costs $10 to enter. Pick 5 games against the spread each week, and each win earns you a point, and each point gets you closer to the grand prize. If you missed out on week 1, don't even sweat it, because entries are still open, and all it takes is one solid week to get you back in the mix. Don't just take my word for it. Join now and start your winning season with MyBookie today. In order to get you started, make your first deposit at mybookie.ag and use promo code PIVEN, P-I-V-E-N, to instantly receive double your deposit. That's double your money, double your winnings with your first ever deposit using promo code PIVEN. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Get after it, dummy. We all have busy lifestyles, right? You hear people saying all the time, I don't have enough time to work out. One of the ways to fit it all in is to go right from the gym into whatever you're doing. And with Viore, they have workout gear that you could just like throw a blazer over with like these sweatpants and like throw some shoes on, and suddenly you keep going, so you don't have to, take time out and get dressed all over again. So it's basically workout gear that's incredibly comfortable. Like I don't know the technical terms for the stuff that they use, but it's like, or even the material they use. But for me, it's high quality stuff, so you feel great in it, and you're working out, and it breathes, and then you can carry on and like go to a meeting or do whatever. So I love this stuff. I wear it long before I even had this partnership with them. Viore is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, we're offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet. Viore.com/Piven, P-I-V-E-N. That's Viore, VUORI.com/Piven. P is in Paul, I is in Ivan, V is in Victor, E is in Elephant, N is in neutral. Go for it, you guys. You won't be sorry. Now, not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to Viore.com/Piven and discover versatility of Viore clothing.
It's concepts with Piven. You understand just how we living. This for me is like rap religion. Open on beat cause we got this Skype. When it come to this, y'all, I can get it hype. When it come to this, yo, calm has risen. How you living, huh? Yo, how you living, Piven?
How are you, my friend?
Good, man. My son was using his Oculus headset on this, so that kind of messed up my audio. But we good.
If you think about it, I know I'm a caveman with technology, and I feel like you would be as well, but then I'm thinking about it, and one of your major breakthroughs, the variable was technology.
Exactly. No, that's my whole thing. I'm a tech geek, but my son's like geeking out too, so he messes with everything. And so it's like he had his headset, where's his Oculus stuff up, that virtual reality connected, and so that always messes with the audio. Sorry about that. We good now?
Virtual reality.
Have you played with it all, the goggles or anything?
You know what? I haven't. I have enough trouble with reality, Mark. No, I do. Virtual reality is too much for me. It's too much.
I hear that.
I
hear that.
I feel like I have so much to ask you, and is it okay if we do a 14-hour interview?
12 is my limit. 12 hours is all I got.
You got some serious endurance. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin with you. I was lucky enough to, what's so crazy is my only reference for you is you as an actor. How insane, how insane is that?
I'm a thespian, you know that.
That's how I know Mark Cuban is me and Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Sal, staring at Mark Cuban, and you had all the lines. It was
bizarre.
Brother, you wouldn't even pass the ball.
Yeah, hey, take it up with Doug, not me. That was Doug.
Well, that was so fun.
Crazy.
Is that stuff fun for you? Because it's not
Oh,
your
I
world.
love it. I love it because it's so like business I get, right? Acting's hard because you just got to let go. Business, you're always in control, right? You're trying to keep control and, define everything in your own terms. Acting, and I'd watch you and I'd watch all the other guys there, and it's just like letting go, man. You just got to go with it. And so that's a bigger challenge for me than business.
The fact that you even get that to me means, and you would never do this, that if you decided, you know what, I'm going to focus on acting, the fact that you even intrinsically understand that means that you would get it, but you're never going to let go of all of your distractions. And thankfully, because I love watching guys like you, because listen, I'm going to get real for a second. It would be very easy to see you as a douchebag.
And I'm not saying I'm not.
No. but I mean, listen, on paper, you have all the makings. You've been a billionaire since you were 40, correct?
Yeah, crazy.
Okay. You are living the dream. You're living every guy's dream. You got your own team. You're passionate about it. You love it. You're doing your thing. You're self-empowered. You speak your mind at all times. Listen, here's what's crazy, brother. I'm perceived as a douchebag, and I played a douchebag, right?
Yeah, and you were good at it,
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. But what's so crazy is I played one, and still people are confused. I'm just a journeyman actor from Chicago. You're an actual douchebag.
Yeah, man, but I'm good, baby. I'm good at it. If you're going to do it, be good.
Oh, my God. Let's make T-shirts. If you're going to do it, be good. I love it. So let me ask you, the way that you broke through, would you be able to do that today, considering how far technology has come?
It's all scale, right? I've had and built and sold multiple companies. But like when we did the whole streaming thing, we just got lucky that it happened right when the internet stock market was going nuts. And so, I was doing really well before then. And no reason to think I would blow it and mess it up, but I had no idea. I mean, it was all luck that the internet stock market was blasting off, and and we were lucky that we could sell our company at the right time. But yeah, could I do it again? Yeah. Could I do it to the same scale? Only if I got lucky again.
So, but at the same time, you were providing something that you knew. And correct me, listen, I don't know anything about business. I'm just a dummy. But so I'm going to speak in layman's terms. So you brought something to people that you wanted to see college games, right?
Yeah.
And you wanted to bring it to everyone else. And it's a very simple but real need.
Yeah, but back then nobody knew. So like, when we got started in '95, people didn't really know what the internet was. And so I'd already been in a technology business, had a company. So my first company, I got a job working at a software firm, a software store, learned technology, got fired. And I was like, okay, I'm a lousy employee. So I got to do something on my own, and started this company and built it and sold it when I was 30, and then took time off. But I knew technology at that point. And so when the internet started to happen, it was like, okay, the way we would listen, I went to school in Indiana. Basketball was big at Indiana University. And so me and my guys, we'd like literally buy some beers and put a speakerphone next to a radio, like one of these old school things that have been sitting around here forever. We would put it next to a radio and listen to it. And so let me tell you that somebody in Bloomington, Indiana would put their speakerphone next to a radio, and then we'd have our speakerphone here, right, and listen to the games. And I'm like, this is messed up, right? There's got to be a better way. Boom.
So, you're being modest and you're saying, yes, luck is a variable. But at the same time, you were providing something that people need. And guys like Richard Branson at the time, he wants to go to this island. Why can't I go? Well, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to buy this plane and we'll start providing it. So,
yep.
It starts off as a need in the way that with artists, your first project is almost autobiographical because you have this tie to it, and then the rest is history. And I don't know your background as an athlete, but I would have to imagine, and no disrespect, were you elite? Because I feel like if you were, okay, Because
you know what? Let me just tell you. I like when I was in high school. When I left high school, I was like 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", 230. No, probably 220. I was chunky, right? And then I grew. Now I'm just under 6'3". And so by the time I got to college, and so I started playing rugby. So I was athletic enough to compete, but I wasn't elite by any long shot. No, absolutely not.
But isn't that, to have, because we're very competitive guys, and when we don't taste success early on, and we know that it's not right for us, and we're competitive guys and we want to win, don't you think that's important for our growth?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I was broke when I got to Dallas. I was broke, but I was still competitive, man. And I was pissed that I was broke. I drive around looking at the big houses, right? And just be, But that's why I got fired a lot, because I was too competitive. But once it got down to it, and I had no choice, and I started that first company. I was living 6 guys in a 3-bedroom apartment, sleeping on the floor. Just everything you can imagine. And I had no choice. I had to make it work.
Right. So you had to step up the game. And so let me ask you a very, very strange question. Would you rather have to give Donald Trump a COVID test and stick a swab up his nose, or trade half your team?
Oh, I'd rather stick that swab up his nose. I jammed that shit so far up there. Are you kidding me? And you know what? All of us have some level of shame, right? Where we're embarrassed by something at some point. He doesn't. Man, and that's probably one of the greatest skills a politician can have, right? Where it doesn't matter if he's right or wrong. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care. And that's the crazy part, because I've never, ever seen or met anybody like that.
So when is Mark Cuban going to be president?
I don't know. It's not my dream job, man. I'd rather have another 8 episodes of Entourage. Entourage 2.0.
Well, listen.
That would be more fun.
Well, listen, brother. Don't pull a knife unless you're going to use it, because that we need that right now. And I gotta,
we could use that right now,
brother. I got to tell you, I just someone hit me and said, what about an Ari Gold spinoff? And I said, joking, like, maybe I'll give the people what they want. And it's had, 4,000 retweets in about 4 seconds. And the people have spoken. So you and I should speak at a certain point, because, I know you're hurting for cash, and I know you're living in.
That's horrible.
Yeah, brother. I know you're blurring out the background because it's so ugly. That's basically what's. You're still living.
Blurring out my fake background.
Exactly. That's how bad it is. We'll talk later about that. But what's interesting is that show.
But seriously, who owns the rights to all that?
That is HBO. HBO, but they just came up with HBO Max, and so they have different platforms. So that is something that I think with the right momentum. But
is that something Doug would do, or is it just something that has to come down from HBO?
I think it has to start with HBO. Obviously, Doug and Steve Levinson were the creators and co-creators, and Mark Wahlberg initiated the entire thing. And but my question to you is, do you think in this climate we could get away with a character, for instance, like Ari Gold, that was so brash and reactive and type A and dealt with people with tough love, but said some things? He was an equal opportunity offender. Could that exist today?
Yeah, I think it would work, just because it's so unusual anymore, right? Ari Gold surviving is kind of like bringing back Archie Bunker when they had, what's his name, Norman Lear, do that live on broadcast television.
Yeah.
Right? How would Archie survive? You were the new age Archie Bunker in a lot of respects.
You're absolutely right. And what's interesting, because we know that we've overcorrected for some things that have been going wrong for years. And now it feels like people, if you look at what's trending and what they're actually watching, it's not stuff that's completely politically correct. They want things that entertain them.
Yep.
That speak to them, whether it's politically correct or not.
Hey, it's not like Joe Tiger or Joe Exotic is politically correct, right? He's the exact opposite, and look what happened.
I think a Tiger Wrangler.
Ari would be the first to sign him to a movie deal.
He would have that franchised out. Are you kidding? There'd be theme parks. Ari Gold would be colonizing Mars with theme parks of the Tiger King, beating.
Absolutely.
Oh my God! Listen, a Tiger Wrangler who seduces straight men with meth. I think that's politically correct, Mark Cuban.
Isn't that on every street corner? Everybody. That's aspirational. It's not. It's aspirational.
Did you hear that Nick Cage is going to play him in the series?
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's going to be its own shit show.
Don't go anywhere. How You Live in Piven will be right back after we pay some bills.
Whether I'm running or lifting or yoga, Pilates, whatever, I'm doing something every day and I'm depleting my body. And I was kind of just running out of juice, running out of gas. And sometimes you can't get to a meal. And so just a little liquid IV, it's a game changer because it just stokes your electrolytes and puts you right back in the game. Great tasting. I like the acai berry. Passion fruit's great. Guava, watermelon, apple pie, strawberry, lemon, lime. I mean, listen, medicine's not supposed to taste good, not supposed to taste this good. So get some liquid IV in your life. Come on, man. By the way, I've known people that just solely use it for a hangover, and it's literally the cure for the hangover. Grab your liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Piven at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you get better hydration today using promo code Piven at liquidiv.com. Let's get after it. The NFL is back in action, and so is winning season at MyBookie with over $500,000 in contest prize money. Winning season makes big games even better and the victories even sweeter. Head to mybookie.ag and choose from a variety of boosts, contests, and promotions up for grabs, highlighted by the crown jewel of winning season, the famed MyBookie Super Contest. It only costs $10 to enter. Pick 5 games against the spread each week, and each win earns you a point, and each point gets you closer to the grand prize. If you missed out on week 1, don't even sweat it, because entries are still open, and all it takes is one solid week to get you back in the mix. Don't just take my word for it. Join now and start your winning season with MyBookie today. In order to get you started, make your first deposit at mybookie.ag and use promo code PIVEN, P-I-V-E-N, to instantly receive double your deposit. That's double your money, double your winnings with your first ever deposit using promo code PIVEN. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Get after it, dummy. You better. I mean, it's so obvious when I'm watching a game and I see you that you're so connected to your team. And I think that permeates everyone around you and the players. You know, you got Dirk that played for you for 20 years, right?
21.
21 years. You know, except for Kobe was the only one that came close. And that's a testament to you, isn't it? I don't know.
No, more to him that he could put up with me. But yeah. But yeah, I love it, man. You know, everybody's got that one thing that they're really intense about.
Yeah.
And then you're mellow about everything else, right? I mean, you've been around me. I mean, I'm mellow 99% of the day. But when you get me in a Mavs game, man, I'm a shit show. Yeah,
but I have to say, Mark, I dealt with you. You know, your company had kind of bought a movie that I did, this indie movie, and I dealt with you for a moment. And listen, you're one of those guys, and you walk that fine line like no one else. You speak the truth as you know it. You're hard, and you can break some hearts.
I just try to be honest, right? Because particularly to artists, right? Particularly when it's an artistic process, because you guys get dragged along so hard, right? People will just, I'm interested, I love it, and then not return your call, right? And then to me, that's always worse. like on your stuff, there's only so much I could do because there's things that I know and things I get involved with. Like if you had a player for the Mavs, well, but I'll just tell you right up, I don't bullshit, because it's for artists in particular, small business, when you give somebody false hope, that's worse than telling them the truth.
Well, let me say, my man, you're a rare bird, and I love guys like you because I thrive off the truth. People in this life are not like you or like me, and my father who would alienate people by telling everyone the truth, and not everyone.
really?
Oh my God, not everyone can handle it.
No.
And I mean, I could tell you stories forever about just. I don't know how to finesse the truth, so I tell everyone and they don't know what to do with it. And I've made a lot of enemies. And you somehow, but I love guys like you because that's how I grow. That's the only way I can grow if you give it to me straight. I just want to hear
Amen
it.
to that. Me too. Same thing, man. You just got to learn from every experience, right? Whether it's good news or bad news, there's something to learn from it.
I've been on the road doing stand up, and I've tackled it because it's something I'd never done before. I have a background in sketch comedy and all this stuff, so I'm prepped for this. But it's a different muscle, same engine, different gear. But I got to throw myself into it. And there are people. I just want people to say, "Nah, man, that's hacky. That's not working. Go deeper." And from that, I can grow. But if everyone's saying, "Oh, that you're killing it," and they don't mean it, what good is it?
It's like you do a show, you do whatever. Oh, you were great. Everybody loved it, right? I'm like, I want to know the person you said that sucked, right? I want to see if you ever told anybody the actual truth that they weren't very good. Because that's especially in Hollywood, man, that's all everybody says.
Well, because people are afraid of confrontation, and they're afraid of being seen as the bad guy. And you have no fear of being the bad guy. But let me ask you, do you have someone in your life or many people that you feel give it to you straight?
Oh, my family, my friends,
Yeah.
they don't bullshit me. If I screw up or if I'm an idiot, they'll tell me.
You have to have that.
Yeah.
And that's probably why your wife is your wife. She was giving to
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, she doesn't care. I mean, she'll tell me exactly what she thinks. My kids, I have a 16-year-old daughter. Are you kidding me?
Now,
The
bro,
minute she turned 15, I lost every brain cell that I've ever had. It got really stupid, according to her.
that's amazing. And she crushes you.
Every minute of every day. She just like, I was just saying hi to her, hey, baby, rolling her eyes, what you eating? Rolling her eyes. How's TikTok? Rolling her eyes.
Yeah, because you're kind of a cheesy, corny dad.
I am the ultimate cheesy, corny dad, man, and I love it. I thrive on it.
That's amazing. I wish I had kids, but I'm not evolved and I'm totally self-consumed and delusional, so I'm not like you. But I want to have kids, and maybe I could put that out into the universe. But I have a niece, and she treats me that exact same way, bro. But it's even worse because she was a superstar at 2.5 years old. She did a little video with Will Ferrell called "The Landlord." And she's like, and it had 100 million hits. It went viral. And my sister, her mother had to retire her at 3 years old. And her name is Pearl the Landlord. Look it up, 100 million hits with Will Ferrell. Anyway, she's still that same girl at 14 years old. And all she does is bust my balls. And she goes, "Uncle Jeremy, I saw you on the side of a bus. Do you work for the bus company?" And I go, "No, Pearl. Uncle Jeremy's an actor." She goes, "I don't think so." And I go, "No." And she walked away. And I go, "Pearl, Uncle Jeremy won 3 Emmys." And she goes, "I don't know Emmy, but call me if you meet Oscar."
That's brutal. That's brutal.
And I'm teaching her how to play the drums. And I go, "Pearl, you've got serious skills. And this is amazing." And she goes, "I've wasted my life playing the violin." I said, "Pearl, you're 14. You could do anything you want. Uncle Jeremy wants to be a drummer and a rock star, but I'm having a midlife crisis." And she goes, "I think you're a little old to have a midlife crisis." I was like, I fucking hate you.
Great.
I hate you.
That's great. Now you know my life every day in quarantine.
No, brother, I don't know your life. There's a big difference between a millionaire and a billionaire, you fucker.
Yeah, but you know what? So the abuse from your niece to the kids, They don't care about that at all.
Oh, I know it. Believe me, I know. Hey, listen, and I know you probably get this, that we can't have any regrets because you can't live in that space. But
Right.
was there a deal or a person or something that you didn't pull the trigger on? You thought, oh no, I can't believe I didn't see that.
Yeah, I mean, there's deals I missed for sure. Uber, right? The dude that started Uber, Travis, he and I had a company before that. And when he came to me first, I over negotiated and someone else just threw money at him right off the bat. Boom. Top Golf was another one. Same thing. It's just like I didn't want to deal with it at the time. Uber I liked, but I was like, no, you're gonna have too many problems with the taxi cab commissions and this and that. And he found somebody else that didn't even think about that stuff, and they killed it. Top Golf, I just said I wasn't into golf, and they're killing, or they were killing it. It happens. I'm okay still. I'll
You,
make lots more mistakes going forward.
you said part of your ideology is that it's a numbers game, and that you just got to keep calling. And it's funny, for the first time I feel a little like you in the way that I'm putting together this movie, and I've never been the guy on the other side before that's out there hustling. And I got to tell you, man, I have so much respect for what you and people like you do, because it's a certain muscle that you got to take your ego and you throw it away and you just grind.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you got to compartmentalize things, right? There's things I know and there's things I know I don't know. It's like me doing the Entourage thing, man. I had no idea, right? And I just had to say, no matter what, right, just go with it, and hope for the best and just trust the people. Like I remember you said, you were like, just relax, and you just got to go with it and go and switching the business side for you. It's the same thing, man. You just got to trust your judgment and keep grinding and keep learning, because all it takes is one time. You don't know which time that breakthrough, where it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. But every time you show up, you got a better shot.
And, never giving up it sounds so easy, but
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to go to work and get slapped down, man. It's hard to get motivated. Like I remember a quick story, like my first company, Micro Solutions, that we had this lady, there was only three of us. We had $84,000 in the bank. And one day I get a call from the bank, and it's this Texas banker, and he goes, son, we just had this woman drive through the drive-through, and she was cashing these checks where the payee was whited out and she had written in her name. I'm like, you didn't cash it, did you? Of course we did. We're a bank. We cash checks. This lady, literally, all she was supposed to do was take our checks and mail them, right, for our vendors, take them to the post office and mail them. Goes to the bank, right, puts on whiteout, writes in her name, takes 82 of the $84,000 we have in the bank. Gone. Wow. Gone. And like off the bat, like you're pissed, right? Fuck, goddamn. But then it's like, oh shit, I got to go to work, right? If I'm just mad, I can't get anything done, right? So we worked through it, and it turned out okay. But her name's Renee Hardy. So if you ever run into her,
oh my God! Look at you holding on to that years later, bro. You got to let it go. But it's so interesting that you just said a lot there, because there's a cliche, and cliches are truths that have been spoken many, many times. But if you hold on to it and you don't let go of that, and you come from anger, and it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens to you. And you learned a very valuable lesson, which is you got to let that go right away, because then that's going to affect everyone else.
And it holds you back. It affects everybody else. They see the anger. They don't know what to do. It's kind of like what we're dealing with this whole pandemic, right? Everybody's mad and nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows who to trust. And so our anxiety levels and fear levels just keep on getting higher and higher and higher. And then you see the country kind of splitting into, mask and no mask, open and closed, liberty versus no liberty. And so we just talk shit to each other. And yeah, it's just, you just got to let that stuff go and try to do the best you can.
Do you meditate?
In my own way, man. I'll do some yoga. I do yoga, right? And I do my shavasana. You know how they say at the end of yoga to lay there, right? I'm there for 30 minutes at the end, right?
Well, it's funny you say that because I don't know if you know this. I did a documentary about yoga and traveled all the way through India from
No, I didn't know that.
Kerala to the Himalayas, and I'm fascinated by it. And it's funny you totally got it, which is the reason they invented yoga was all those poses are to get you to the place where you can then meditate. So the whole purpose of yoga is it's like a curtain raiser to prepare you for that moment to be present. Because you seem like a guy to me you got the yin and yang of like you're hardcore, you're gonna get into the belly of the beast and be a real businessman, but you're also kind of zen. And I figured you had to do something to get that.
Let me just tell you, I put my yoga breathing to work all the time these days with my kids. It's just like in through the nose, and then because you have to, especially now.
Don't go anywhere. How You Livin' Jay Piven will be right back after we pay some bills.
Attention listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston, do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, weed whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, crop preserver, ball deodorant, crop reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your whole solar system. Let's get after it, you guys. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping with code Piven at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with code Piven at manscaped.com. Your dick and balls need some help, all right? For clean Trinity and beyond, your space balls will thank you. I will thank you. I will never see your dick and balls, but someone will thank you. Look, you guys, I found this incredible website you have to check out. Nuts.com is the best kept secret for savvy snackers across the country. I mean, look, I'm not just saying this. I was just on a plane and I don't eat airplane food. And I was like, do you guys just have some nuts? And I love nuts. And don't take that out of context, by the way. I do. I love almonds, all of it. I mean, just count me in. I mean, here's the cool thing about them. It's almost like they curate all these different nuts and they send it to you. You don't have to go to the store and hunt it down. They have raw, organic, roasted, salted, candied nuts, chocolate dipped, pantry items, baking mixes, pastas, all this different kinds of stuff, man. Gluten-free, which is important. I usually ask for extra gluten because I like to be just a big bloated mess. No, don't be. Go gluten-free, everybody. Vegan options. They make it all happen. Stuff you couldn't even dream of. They ship it to you. It's easy. It's simple. Just get up on the nuts. NewNuts.com customers get free shipping on your first order when you text Livin to 64,000. So text Livin to 64,000 to get free shipping. Free, kids. I'm Jewish. I can appreciate this. On your first order from nuts.com, that's Livin to 64,000. Terms apply. Available at nuts.com/terms. This is going to get very deep, but I think that our truth has a vibration, all of us. And we can't help but be witness to that vibration. And I think your vibration is very childlike. I think you have this, like I see it in your face right now, you're laughing and you definitely love being in this life and you're passionate about what you do. You're not jaded, you're not bitter.
No, not at all.
And I think,
man, I've been lucky though. It's easy for me, man. I'm the luckiest motherfucker in the world, right? My family's healthy. You know, I stress about shit. My anxiety levels are higher because I worry about them, right? Not so much me. But yeah, I mean, like Robert Parrish, man. No one's going to give a fuck if I was mad or upset, or it just is what it is, you know? And when I was broke, I was the same way. And that's why, you know, I connect back with my buddies and we're all just the same because, you know, we've all just kind of kept our relationships the same. We're all just friends, you know, and some have done well. Some of my friends have done well. Some of them haven't. and but we're still friends, and we're still connected, and that's all that matters.
How have you managed to not become jaded?
I just, either you go with me or you don't, right? Either you're my friend or you're not. And I don't look for new friends. I guess, what it is, Jeremy? I don't need shit from anybody. I got my family, and, when I was single, it was different, right? Because you're always looking, you don't know what's next. Like you're talking about having kids. I want to have kids, but now I'm past that. And so it's like, I got what I need, right? Now I can help other people and do things that are important to me as long as my kids are good, as long as my family's good. And so that makes it a lot easier, a lot easier. I don't have those same stresses I used to.
Well, if you could say there's one trait to someone, someone said to me once, I'm casting something. I swear to God, they said this to me. Who does what you do? and
I mean, yeah, the whole den of that right there, right?
Well, it's like, you're the exact same way. I'm just some dummy that grew up in Chicago watching Walter Payton and being in awe of his skill set and being able to watch Michael Jordan in person and being inspired by these people and watching John Malkovich on stage locally, having my father say to me, there's one actor in this room and you ain't it, as he's directing me, and bless him, he kicked my ass. He kicked my ass, and he was, the only actor in the room, and I was struggling and whatever and becoming something. And, he gave me tough love and gave it to me straight, and I needed it, and I thrived off of that.
It worked for you, right? Obviously it worked.
I'm a work in progress. We
all are.
Yes, indeed. And I'm trying to get better, as are you. So when someone says to me, I'm casting something, who does what you do? Well, I crawled up on stage at 8 years old. I've been doing it for many, many decades. I went to London and studied Shakespeare because it was my weakness. I just kept at it. I never stopped. In fact, I probably went all in too much, and no regrets, but I think, I was married to my work, and then unfortunately my work decided to see other people. But I digress. So, when you're married to your work, everything else takes, a back seat. And this pandemic to me has really, I've embraced all of this. And what do you really want in this life? And it's a finite amount of time we have here. And you've got your family, and everything's for your family. And I want a family, and I'm getting very deep. But when someone says to me, who does what you do? It's hard for me to say because we're all so different.
Yeah.
No one could say to you, Mark, listen, Mark, I'm building a company and I need a Mark Cuban. Who does what you do? You'd be like,
no, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own skill set, and that's the beautiful thing, right? You just got to appreciate people and I got that from my dad. You talk about your dad. My dad did upholstery on cars, and never made more than $40,000 in his life, never went to college, all that kind of stuff. But he was nice to everybody. And even when he was in his, I took care of him. When I made money, I took care of him. He could do whatever he wanted, him and my mom. And my dad would just go out and drink wine with anybody. Literally, my friends would say, oh yeah, we went out and your dad was tearing it up, just holding court. He was friends with everybody. And that's kind of what I aspire to be, just being able to connect to anybody in any way, and not judge anybody. Whoever you are, I'm good with it, and that's kind of what I took away from my dad.
So what I'm getting from you, and I know that, you're a busy man, I'm going to let you go, but in closing, and I don't want to speak for you, but kind of what I'm getting from you is one of the biggest variables to your success in this life is the way you've treated people.
I try. I mean, look, I fucked up many times, right? We all do. And you learn, but I've learned from it. Every mistake I've made, I've tried to learn from. Because sometimes you just get it wrong. You think one way and you think you're doing the right thing, and you think, you trust this person or that person, and it doesn't turn out. Or I make a mistake. That's just life, right? You don't go through your years and not make mistakes. It's what you do and what you learn from them that matters. Right. That's what I'll try to teach my kids. That's what my parents taught me. And that'll be my legacy. It's not what I make. It's not what I have in the bank. It's what I leave behind for my kids.
It's so funny because that was my last question to you was, what is your legacy? And you answered that. But, somehow I've been, studying meditation and doing it for years. And if I didn't, I'd be in real trouble. And you somehow mastered it without having that, very consistent practice. And you understand intrinsically that if you don't take that beat and take that breath, and if you react fast and if you think fast, you got to think slow, even though your brain is moving fast.
Yeah, no, and that's the hard part, right? Because my brain got ahead of my mouth many times, right?
Right.
And so, and we all go through cycles in our lives, right? I mean, who Jeremy Piven was 20 years ago is different than who you are today, or 5 years ago for that matter. And that same applies for everybody. And as long, for me, as long as I'm making progress, getting smarter, learning from my mistakes, and conveying that to my kids, I'm good, right? I'll be okay when they put me under.
There you go. I love it, my man. Well, listen, it's been an honor talking to you. You're what my people call a mensch, which means
I'm Jewish, right?
Wait a minute, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're my long lost brother. I love it. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You're trying to hide that shit. Don't hide it, Mark.
Hell no, Cuban, right? That's a really Jewish. No, my grandparents came over on the boat and it was like chop, 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 chop. Yeah.
Well, a lot of
the whole 9 yards.
I love it, my man. I love it. Well, thank you for the time. And now this is awkward because I need to borrow some money.
I'm losing my connections, Jeremy.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What?
Exactly. Listen, I can't wait. You're one of the good guys. I'm always happy when you win. And when you hoist that trophy again, my heart will be bursting with joy for you because you deserve it.
Appreciate it, Jared. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And thanks for having me on, man. It was a great conversation. So different from any interview I've done in years, man. I loved it. Thank you.
How You Livin, Jay Piven is a Cast original podcast in association with Common Enemy and Tenderfoot TV. Producer is Kyle Tequila. Theme song by Common. Executive producer for Cast is Harley Roman. Executive producers for Tenderfoot TV are Donald Albright and Payne Lindsay. Executive producers for Common Enemy are Jared Einson and Dave Osico. Catch all new episodes of How You Live in Jay Piven every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts.